What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another desireless discussion. It's your co-host KJ Howard and Cam Porter. And today we got another banger for you guys. So go ahead and get your notepads out and get to writing. Got something special, man. You ready for this, Cam?
Let's do it, man. Providing y'all with the best tips, man, to make sure that y'all maximizing y'all potential.
Yeah. Before we start this video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel, become part of the community. And if you really want to become part of the community, join the email list. Link to that in the description down below. But without further ado, I don't like to waste no time, so we're going to get into it. The top 5 traits that D1 recruiters are looking for when they're recruiting. Number 1, you got to be a playmaker. At the end of the day, you got to be a playmaker. You got to be somebody who makes plays. If you're not a guy on your film who's making the game look easy and is dominating at the high school level, or maybe you're playing JUCO at the JUCO level, and you're not making yourself look like a baller, a dog, well, it's going to be hard for coaches to really appeal to you and really cling on to you. They're recruiting thousands of kids, thousands of guys. And trust me, there's other ballers out there. There's other dogs out there. So for you to kind of set yourself aside and put yourself in the best light, bro, you got to be making plays. Like, you got to be, if you're an offensive guy, you got to be scoring touchdowns. You got to be making crazy catches. You got to be making crazy cuts, crazy juice. If you're a defensive guy, tackles, big hits. I'm talking about like big hits, not no. If your highlight tape is 5 minutes of just average tackles, it's going to be hard. But if you got 5 minutes of big hits, a forced fumble, interception, like those stuff that's going to pop out to coaches, and that's what they're looking for. They're looking for playmakers. They don't want guys just to come in. Every team has enough just regular guys. They want guys to come in and make a difference.
You need a specific skill that stands out. So, you might not understand what we mean by this. What we mean by this is basically you need a specific skill that catches the coach's eye. So in Kevin's case, Kevin is a fast guy. So what is Kevin's tape and what is Kevin's skill set is obviously speed. So that's what he's going to be showcasing on his tape as much as possible. His first few clips are going to be him breaking away. His first few clips are going to be him scoring long touchdowns. In my case, I was more of a power back. I am more of a power back. So in my case, I'm going to be showing clips of me running through people, me running over people. Like, that is your specific skill set. So allow coaches to see that so it can catch their eye early. Too many times people are not showcasing their specific skill early and often in their film, early and often at camps and all of that stuff. So if you have a specific niche or you are specifically good at something, say you're good at tracking the ball, put clips of you tracking the ball really well. You know what I mean? That is what's going to catch the coach's eye and get them excited about your specific skill set.
Yeah, totally, 100%. I think that, like, especially starting off early, I think you should find something that you're good at, whatever that is, and put that in the light of the coaches. Improve on that skill to where you're the best at it. So say, for instance, you're a receiver and you have good hands. If I'm a receiver, I'm going to improve that and make them great hands. I want to showcase coaches that I have the best hands in the country. Because if you do that, you're going to set yourself apart from other guys. If you're a guy who just focuses on everything, it's going to be hard for you to really stand out and really be like, is this guy has good hands? Does he have speed? Does he have routes? I say early on, be a specialist. Focus on one thing that you really should be honing in on to really get noticed by scouts. So like Kim said, if I'm a fast guy, I'm trying to get faster. If I'm a quarterback and I got a strong arm, I want to have the strongest arm because it's going to be easier for you to stand out in your competition, I feel like, especially as in a young age. So going into trait number 3 that coaches are looking for. They're looking for football IQ. I'm be honest, the days of the dummies when you go out there, you run, you hit somebody, and you go home and smoke a cig is over with. You gotta be actually a smart player. The game is too advanced. There's too many different strategies, there's too many different coverages, too many different plays. Your football IQ has to be there, and coaches are looking for that. They're looking for guys who can obtain a college playbook. Because Cam, bro, tell these guys, how deep is your college playbook?
I mean, coming out of high school, you obviously have a good amount of plays, you have a good amount of install, but it completely triples almost when you get to college. Because you have to understand, you're obviously dealing with professionals, but you're dealing with coaches that have coached in the NFL. You're dealing with coaches who have been in college for years on years. Like, my first offense coordinator in college was an NFL coordinator at one point. That's the type of knowledge that you're dealing with, and they don't stop for anybody. You at least have, close to 200 plays in an offensive playbook easily. And one thing about college that differs from high school a little bit is the fact that you are getting new install each week. So depending on the team and depending on how coaches are scouting certain teams, you're going to make tweaks to the playbook that are going to change different calls. So week in and week out, you're dealing with a different playbook, and you're dealing with, different terminology that you have to be aware of and be able to catch on with. So that's really crucial for coaches. So like Kevin talked about a little bit earlier, you want to ensure that you're able to show that you have high intelligence and high game knowledge. So a specific example would be as a running back on 3rd and short, running downhill when you're trying to get that first down instead of trying to bounce it outside and getting tackled. Those are the small things. If you're a corner, showing that you can bait quarterbacks into thinking that you're in a different coverage. Like, these are things that you can see on film that coaches will see and say, okay, this is a high IQ guy that I want on my team because he knows football and he can catch on to the college game very fast. So on to trait number 4, body language. Obviously, body language is something that you always hear and people are aware of, but coaches pay attention to it a lot. And at the end of the day, coaches are not going to put up with guys that are cancerous and toxic in the locker room, cancerous and toxic on the field. So you really just need to make sure that your body language is always one of a leader, somebody who's uplifting their teammates, not bringing their teammates down, and not pouting on the field when they're not getting the ball. And these are all controllable things, like I said before. Coaches look at this and coaches pay attention to it because they're judging how are you as a teammate, how are you going to fit in my program, and how are you going to fit in the locker room. All these things matter. And if you're a guy who's trying to find a way to get to college and you're not a high 5-star recruit, being a leader and being a guy who's a culture guy and a guy who buys in is very attractive to a lot of college programs, and that's what they look for in a lot of players.
And the last point number 5 of what recruiters are looking for. Looking for that motor. That motor, how hard do you play throughout the whole entire game? And if you're a guy who has a motor, who it doesn't turn off, as soon as the play is hiked or as soon as you get between those lines, you're going balls to walls, you're going full speed, oh my gosh, your DMs are going to be flooded. I see a lot of guys that get recruited, and if you look at their skill level, their skills are average, athleticism's average, but their motor makes up for everything. Their motor allows them to play at a higher level than what they're really capable of, just because they don't take no plays off. They take advantage of every opportunity they get. They're going hard. Like, there's plenty of times. I know Cam probably had this problem, but face this too. You get against a guy who's not really that talented, but you watch on film, his motor's crazy. He's a linebacker with a neck pad. And he's slow as heck. He might not be the biggest, but you watch his motor, it's like, man, honestly, as an offensive player, I kind of respect that more, as in like, man, this guy, when I say a player with a huge motor, I'm thinking like, man, like, it's gonna be he don't take no plays off. Let's pick up. He ain't taking no plays off. Any plays not taking no plays off, man. So like, recruiters are looking for that motor. How much do you love the game? Because at the end of the day, that's what it shows. It shows that you care. It shows that you love the game. It shows that, you want to be out there. And that's what they want too, because you want to come as a freshman, as a young player, you're not going to be a star player. You're probably not. You're probably going to be a guy who's just coming in. If you got a high motor, that's going to be the easiest way for you to get on that field, man. But here are 5 traits that D1 recruiters are looking for when they're out recruiting, man. So if you want to get recruited by D1s, maybe I would suggest picking up with some of these traits. All of that goes into getting recruited. And for a guideline, like, man, like, what all do I need to get recruited, man? We have a free recruiting checklist that you can download, 100% free, that you can take and add to your recruiting process that'll help elevate. If you're a guy who's getting some attention or may not be getting some attention, you download the checklist, you'll start to receive more attention. So it's a free checklist, link to that description also. But that pretty much sums up the video. Cam, you got anything else you want to say?
Nothing too much. Just continue to tap in with us, continue to tune into the video, subscribe, let us know things that you want to see, things that you don't want to see. Let's just continue to build this relationship and make sure that we're maximizing our full potential, man. All we want to do is help you guys, so just give us continuous feedback and let's continue to grow together.
This guy KJ and Cam, man, we're out of here.